Good morning, campers. How y'all doing? Oh boy. I feel it, eh? I'm still waking up too. So welcome to Unity of Calgary, everybody. I'm Anthony, and the band and I are going to do a song to help you get settled and let go of whatever you might have brought with you. This is a song, I didn't write this song, but one of those songs I wish I did. It's called Center of the Heart.
Really, when you move it, that you have the time, not just the temperature.
Here we are at the perfect time, in the perfect place, showing up with an open mind and all this space. Anything can happen here, we all play a part. Here's an invitation to the center of the heart. Take my hand, here we go. What's the plan? We don't have to know. Take a breath, make a start. Welcome home to the center of the heart. Here we are at the perfect time and in the perfect place, showing up with an open mind and all this space. Anything can happen here, we all play our part. We're all in this together at the center of the heart. So take my hand, here we go. What's the plan? We don't have to know. Take a breath, make a start. Welcome home to the center of the heart. Welcome home to the center of the heart. Welcome home to the center of the heart. All right, now you get to stand up and join along in song. Ray is away today, so Bob is filling in on the bass. Let's all say thank you to Bob for playing the bass.
Hey, Bob.
I tried to convince him to play the bass and the guitar at the same time, but he said no. He's got a cramp in his foot. Thank you for this day, Spirit. Thank you for this day. Thank you for this day, Spirit. Thank you for this day. The Spirit is healing this healing day. This healing, this healing, this healing day. Thank you for this home, Spirit. Thank you for this home. Thank you for this home, Spirit. Thank you for this home. The spiritual, the spiritual, the spiritual home. The spiritual, the spiritual, the spiritual home. My
going to sit down after the first song because we're shifting things up a little bit. You'll get to sing your second song in a few minutes. All right. Yes, thank you for this day. And thank you to everyone who's here in the room, those joining us on the live stream, and those that will join us in the so-called future. We're so delighted that you are here. And we know from quantum physics that there's no distance in space, so we're all helping to co-create this beautiful container today. Thank you for bringing your essence, your unique soul signature into our space today. My name is Alara Payton, and I'm delighted to be your Sunday Experience Guide today. And welcome to anyone who's joining us for the first time. And of course to everyone, whether you've been here once or 100 times, welcome. We know that wherever you are, wherever we are on our spiritual journey, we are all welcome at Unity of Calgary. Now today we're going to begin with a question. Let's begin by answering the question, who are we as a community? Unity is more than a set of teachings. It's a way of being together. When we gather, we are shaping a shared field of consciousness. We are not simply attending a spiritual center. We are co-creating a spiritual culture. Therefore, we invite sacred participation. This is one of 12 practices that I'm going to mention in a second that describe the spirit we commit to embodying together. So number one that we're presenting today is we remember the presence. We gather in awareness that God is here and now, expressing through each one of us. And we love being in community with this commitment. So I'm inviting you to affirm with me our commitments. Unity of Calgary is committed to life in the vibration of love. And I too am committed in living in the love vibration. And rather than toning, for those who've been with us before we have toned here, we're actually going to use Anthony's beautiful song, Living in the Love Vibration, as our toning. So I invite you to embrace your commitment to living in the love vibration.
We are living in
Oh, I almost don't want to break the silence by inviting Tina up to read our daily word today.
Good morning, everyone. Today's word is prayer. Prayer flows throughout my life. This is based on Ephesians 6:18. Pray in the Spirit at all times in every prayer and supplication. Just as my body needs water to stay healthy, my soul draws strength from living water, the ever-flowing presence of Spirit within me. As I drink from this well, I am refreshed and ready to meet each moment prayerfully. Fortified by divine love, prayer flows naturally. When challenges or opportunities arise, I turn inward. When I start or complete a task, I pause to express gratitude. When I meet someone in need or am helped by another, I hold them in thoughts of light and love. Whether I pray aloud or pray silently, the prayerful energy arising from within me is a blessing. I open myself to Spirit's presence, and my prayer practice deepens. Prayer flows as naturally as breath itself, an inspired rhythm of life sustained by living water that never runs dry.
Thank you, Tina. And I do not see Claude in the room. Okay, so we're not doing Unity Moment. Okie dokie. What did it say about, going with the flow here? All right, well, that brings us then to the first solo, or the band song, The Garden.
Band, you can go and have a coffee. Yeah. I think I did this song like a month or two ago there. But since today is all about planting and nature and so on, I thought I would do it again. This is an Eddie Watkins Jr. song, and he's known for his Motown background and his upbeat, fun songs, but this is just such a beautiful song that he wrote. So this one's called The Garden.
right, you can tell Carrie's in the house. Welcome back, Carrie. Well, this brings us to a time where we get to find out what wisdom Reverend Lesley is going to share with us on the theme of planting seeds. Now, I see that's the theme. That was last month's theme. We've got nurturing growth, and so you're continuing the theme of planting seeds. Now, Reverend Lesley grew up in Vancouver and moved to Kelowna with hubby and kids. And after spending 11 years getting her CPA accounting designation, and it's got no more boring formulas to learn, she decided to learn more about God, her favorite topic. She discovered the Center for Spiritual Living in Kelowna. And she started attending in January 2007 and started taking the education curriculum. Within a few short years, only 7 this time, she notes, she became a licensed minister with CSL. In 2015, Spirit called her to Calgary, where she founded Evolution Accounting. And she joined the Calgary Center for Spiritual Living and began living the next greatest version of herself. And it says, life is good. And so help me welcome Reverend Lesley McNamara.
Thank you so much. That's quite loud. It's okay. Excuse me. Good morning, and thank you for inviting me here today to share. And as an ordained minister with Centers for Spiritual Living, I study the human condition. I teach people how to think, not what to think. And I also love to teach about designing the lives that we love to live. It's my passion. This teaching is powerful and life-changing beyond words. I have a question. How does a parent thrive after the death of their child? One December morning, the police came to the door of my brother's house, where I'd been working and living for 2 months, to tell me that my daughter Jessie had died from a drug overdose. All I could think about was, how did the police find me? Nobody really knew that I was in Vancouver, as I'd moved to Calgary 6 months earlier. And the next question was, what about her partner? Was he dead too? They were together for about 10 years. No, he had survived, but I was crushed. How could I be able to live after losing my beloved child? Of course, it was devastating for our family, and Jessie had been struggling with addiction for 15 years. And I always thought that she would make it one day, like many other people I'd seen. But no, she didn't find a higher power or join programs to relieve her addictions and to live on a prosperous life. This had always been a fascinating question to me, was how do people change their minds to stop drinking, drugging, gambling, shopping, eating, whatever it is that we have? And they want to stop, but they just feel so powerless to make those changes. Why do some people make it and others don't? Interesting. Jessie was living in Edmonton at the time, and I was in Vancouver, and I had just been fired from a job 2 days earlier. I know. I hadn't been fired since I was 15. I was like, oh my God. Anyways, we were all planning to meet in Kelowna for 5 days, not to plan a funeral, but to meet for Christmas. Honestly, I was so numb to the news. I decided that I didn't want to go to Edmonton to see her body one last time. It was a tough and agonizing decision for me, but I wanted to remember as I knew her as a beautiful person. I always knew the truth of who she was, and she's not a ravaged drug addict in my mind. 2 days later, I flew to Kelowna to be with my son for Christmas to plan her celebration and figure out my next steps. The week passed in a blur. Many people came out to share their condolences and love, and it was a blur for me. It was overwhelming as well. My son began preparations to move to Summerland to share a house with his father and his stepmom, and I returned to Calgary to pick up the pieces of my life. Every morning for the next 6 or 7 months, it was a decision. Do I kill myself today or do I live? I didn't really want to die. I just didn't want to be alive. I don't know if that makes sense to you, but I did put my good face on and continued to show up to the shreds of my life at that point. And I went to this Calgary Center and I acted like nothing had happened. I went shopping for food and going for walks, and every night I cried myself to sleep. I went to a counselor actually to help me, and she knew I was a minister, and her question to me was, what would you counsel someone who is going through what you're going through? Oh, I felt the rage boiling up inside of me. You don't understand, right? It's like, I can't bear this loss. It was just so much. And I didn't go back to see her. I didn't understand how I could create a life that I would love to live. I lost any empathy for others. I couldn't bear their pain. I couldn't bear to hear it or see it. Mine was so much greater than theirs. I was suffering. But along the way, there was a number of spiritual coincidences, if we believed in coincidence. I don't. The very morning I got fired from that job, I had done a process wheel. A process wheel is where you stick like what you want, what you desire in the middle of a thing, and then draw lines around the circle and then fill in those lines. And so mine was about being a minister. I just 2015 graduated, and I wanted to have a center. So it was like building spiritual community, love and affection and outreach and consciousness and all that stuff. And I'd done that process and then went off to this job. I knew the job wasn't a fit for me. I felt frozen what to do because I'm not a quitter. I stay for a long time despite pain. I laughed, though, not that day, but a few days later when I realized that I actually had manifested that, with the help of somebody. The second spiritual thing was I was in Vancouver where my 3 brothers lived, and they all came over that day when I got the news and the police had come to the door. So I was safe. And my Calgary home, where I lived, I was renting, was with my best friend and her family. They had lost their son 4 years earlier at 15 to cancer, and so they were able to give me the grace to process my grief my way. They held the high watch for me and comforted me by simply allowing me to talk or not, to find my own way back to living. Number 4, the family cat that was in the house, Molly, had adopted me when I moved in. As soon as I set my bed up, she moved onto it and didn't leave. It was like she found me and I found her. She was an angel in disguise for me. She was so affectionate and warm and cuddly. We played together. She'd sleep right here beside my head. I just felt, I'm a cat lady. You know that, right? When I moved out a year later, they said, you better take her with you. I was her person and she was my spirit animal. And the next thing was I read Man's Search for Meaning during those months living in the basement by Viktor Frankl. Oh, such a powerful book. I highly recommend it. Each person was stripped. It was how he survived in the concentration camps. So each person there had been stripped of everything. Their clothes were taken, they were given rags to wear, everything. They lost it all. No matter how much they tried to hide it or squirrel away something, it was always found and taken. But the only thing they were left was their minds. And Frankl studied the mental states of himself and the fellow prisoners, and he had so many insights to the inner workings of our minds, the human suffering, and how humans can rise above all conditions placed upon them by using their minds. And I paraphrase the line that helped me so deeply when I read that book. I can't find it again, but it's somewhere in there, but this is the paraphrase. No matter the cause of the suffering fills the complete body vessel. And that was so powerful for me. That concept freed me to be compassionate again with other people, no longer feeling disdain for them. Their suffering filled them completely as mine had filled me. And the last thing, a year later, the following Christmas, I'd gone back to Kelowna and to reunite with Patrick, and one of my brothers came up as well, and we went and stayed at a friend's house in the mountains. We were surrounded by snow, and her and I went out for a walk in the woods. It was so peaceful and serene. It was absolutely beautiful. And along the way, I saw a sign tacked to a tree along a trail in the middle of nowhere, and it said, Jesse's Tree, or Jesse's Road. And I was like, oh my God, she's with me. It was so beautiful. And we ended up moving into a field, and I was sort of dragging along behind my friend, and I weighed over 300 pounds at that time. And then I don't know how I fell down, but I fell down in the middle of the snowy field, and it was deep, and I was exhausted, and I was tired of pretending I was okay. I couldn't get up, and that was the thing. I just couldn't get up. I tried, I struggled and struggled, and my friend carried on, not really seeing what was happening to me. Suddenly, I was utterly defeated. I completely surrendered to the pain and the grief in my heart. I felt spirit all around me. I was so comforted, supported, and safe in that very moment. Electrified, I instantly knew that all was well. I was alive, and I was so deeply and profoundly grateful that I had had the greatest gift of being a mother to my daughter Jessie for her time on earth. She was free, and so was I. I was deeply comforted by the infinite. I called my friend to help me up, and I felt reborn. And a few days later, I decided to, and that was the end of 2016, I decided to permanently relocate to Calgary after renting there for a year. My son and I decided he would move to Calgary. It didn't work out. We're living with his stepmom mostly and his dad. And we wanted to be together. It was sad, right? We wanted to be together. So we were going to share a house. A bit more on that later. But what does this have to do with planting spiritual seeds and nurturing growth? Well, we have a spiritual toolkit at our side. Here's a definition. Spiritual toolkit is a metaphorical collection of practices, beliefs, habits, and resources that we use to maintain inner peace, navigate life's challenges, and to connect to a higher power or our deeper selves. So here are 4 spiritual tools that I consistently use in my life, and I'd like to share them with you. First is my imagination. It's the playground of creativity. This is where I start. I use my imagination to design what's next for me. I close my eyes and begin to imagine what I'd like to experience, to know, or to be. I am mindful of Spirit's presence, and I go to my inner source of all things. I ask for inspiration and guidance, especially if I'm at a loss as what's mine to do next. I always get inspired. And here's what Charles Fillmore says. Imagination gives the man the ability to project himself through time and space and rise above all limitations. Oh, I love that. With the imaginative process completed, I write my words down and plant them into the mind or the soil. Remember, I was in Kelowna with my son. Well, here's what we did to find our seeds to plant. We sat down, closed our eyes, and began to imagine the ideal house, which qualities each of us wanted. And this was about a 10-minute process that we did together. Mind you, he's not spiritual at all, but I insisted. We named the qualities that were important to us in a home, mostly those feelings. What would it feel like? We wanted a warm, welcoming sanctuary, light, spacious, green space, fenced yard, great location, easy access, good parking, and roomy bedrooms for 4 people. I jotted down all the features on the back of an envelope, put it in my purse, and left and went back to Calgary. And we actually never really looked at the list again because we knew already it was clearly set in our minds. a sanctuary to rebuild our lives. This is from Charles Fillmore. Words are also seeds, and when dropped into the invisible substance, they grow and bring forth after their kind. So beautiful. Second tool is visualization, and I call this the mind-changing activity. While I didn't do this activity to find my house, I've used it so many other times in my life. I wanted to share 2 early experiences I had while still in Kelowna of visualization and my results. So for about 4 to 6 months, every morning I'd be in my bathroom as my day started, and I would visualize myself swimming in an ocean. I was like swimming in the ocean. I love swimming. It's my favorite thing. And it's a warm, sunny ocean, and it's a beautiful day. The water's blue, and there's little waves around me. And then I see myself pulling myself out of the water and up onto a sailboat, and sleek, beautiful me. And next, I saw myself on a ski hill. I'd wanted to go skiing, and so I was up there on the ski hill, and I'm shooshing down the mountain, and I'm having a good day. I'm feeling free in the beautiful snow. And in both instances, I actually did those motions. I physically did the motions, felt it, and I saw myself doing those things. And I only did this for like a minute or 2 minutes at the most, and then I would just get on, put it out of my mind, get on with my day. And this is what Charles Fillmore had to say. Every man who accomplishes things first sees in his mind what he wishes to do, puts away all doubt. It makes no difference how small or large the thing you want to do may be. If you have unlimited confidence in your ability to do it, you will do. At our Kissing Cousins, as you know, Centers for Spiritual Living, this is a common idea with us too. Everything is created twice, once in mind and once in form. So the third tool I wanted to present today was absolute knowing. Absolute certainty that my word is already manifest, and the law or creative substance is the operator of the output. My task is to hold fast knowing that my word has power. It is implanted in the soil, that creative substance. I'm not to dig it up, leave it alone, and nor am I to be discouraged. Who knows how long it's going to take? My job is to become aligned with my vision. As Charles Fillmore said, I got some great quotes. I just thought this is so fun preparing for this. There is an invisible thought stuff on which the mind acts, making things through the operation of a law not yet fully understood by man. Every thought moves upon this invisible substance in increasing or diminishing degree. When we praise the richness and fullness of God, this thought stuff tremendously increases in our mental atmosphere. It reflects into everything that our mind and our hands touch. Beautiful. Increasing or diminishing degree. This thought stuff is a plasticity, and it accepts the imprint of our thought, and the law acts upon it, making it into form. So the seed is our thought, the soil is the law, and the plant is the outcome. And I ask myself all the time, Lesley, what are your thoughts? Are they increasing or diminishing? So the fourth one I wanted to share was instead of going, is a future forecast. And I call this, and those become a future memory. So instead of going back to how it used to be, I have trained myself to use my desired future as if it already exists. I access my future memories of being what I designed and created. I know the infinite is working on it, and my job is to align myself, not to figure it out. I don't know how it's going to outpicture. I don't. Okay, Lesley, what about the results to all this stuff you've been doing? Well, swimming, sometime later, I don't remember now, it was quite a while ago, I was invited to spend 2 weeks in Mexico on my brother's sailboat. How fast can you say yes and book a flight? Yeah, I did. Within 2 days of arriving, guess what happened? I was swimming in the blue ocean, and the light waves were around me, beautiful sunny day. And when I was finished, I found myself pulling my body out of the ocean on the exact same ladder that I had visualized. I didn't know what they had on their boat for a ladder. It was amazing. I got God bumps all over me. It was so powerful. And skiing, a same thing happened. I decided to go skiing with my son. We hunted for boots and skis and poles. I was really nervous though, because it had been 20 years since I'd been up on a set of skis. And I had more weight on my body, and I didn't want to go, but he was so excited. So I put all those limitations aside, got assembled, and I skied to the ski lift, and I got off, and I didn't fall. So this was really good. And my first run down the mountain was so exhilarating. I was skiing along, and then all of a sudden, exactly, it was like deja vu, but it was my future memory. And I could feel my legs and my body and hear the snow and the shooshing exactly how I had imagined for all those months in my bathroom. Oh my God, it was extraordinary. Who knew? It was so wonderful. It was a brilliant demonstration of the power of mind and spirit and acting on this teaching, not just constantly thinking about it, but actually acting on it. The new home, within 6 months, we found the perfect home. And why 4 people? Because my bestie and her daughter needed a home too. We moved together in, and her daughter graduated and launched her career in broadcasting, moved out after about a year to follow her dreams. And then 3 years ago, my son decided that he designed his life to spend winters in Mexico, where he met and married the love of his life, and summers are in a trailer up in a Alberta campsite. And he's got a cloud-based biz, so it's perfect for him. And my bestie and I have been living there for the last 9 years. We have a really good time. So in summary, there's 4 spiritual tools that I'm providing today that design a life that you love to live. Imagination, the playground of creativity. Visualization, the mind-changing activity. Absolute knowing, certainty that your words manifest. Yes. Future forecast. Your future becomes a memory that you can thrive on. The question was, how does a parent thrive after the death of their child? By finding meaning in their life. I found meaning knowing that I was the best mom to Jessie during her life. I discovered the infinite power of God, which repeatedly expressed through my ordeal in so many ways, big and small. I took that infinite intelligence, invited it to be the foundation of a new accounting business that I founded with a partner, co-created it. And after 6.5 years, we sold it last September. The growth of that business is another story for another time. I now enjoy time, money, freedom. I'm dancing, I travel, I sing, I work out, I paint, I play with my friends and family. I sowed my seeds, and I'm living a life that I truly love to live. My Creator continues to inspire me and delight me. Thank you. Namaste. Many blessings to all of you. And now we're going to do a short meditation, starting with the meditation song, opening by Anthony.
I surrender. I trust and I know that as I surrender, I fall into the arms of love. I surrender. I trust and I know that as I surrender, I
with your eyes closed if you choose. Breathe in with me. And out. In the arms of love, I invite you to move your awareness into the infinite field of possibilities. That space where you're no thing, no body, nowhere, in no time. I invite you to imagine what you would like to be, to know, or to do. If you have a question, allow the answer to come forth. Your inner being is with you. If you're striving to something right now, just relax into this moment and notice how it feels and what you're doing and where you're doing it. Who are you with? Relax into this space, feeling the power of the infinite surrounding you, in you, through you, and around you. We are gifted with this beautiful life. Let us release any limitations and know the power of the infinite, revealing our wholeness, revealing our joy, revealing our deepest desires. All is possible from this place in the infinite. Hold your hand over your heart and thank yourself for showing up to be in community, to be in spiritual community with people, to create that spacious consciousness of growth and nurturing. And thank your beautiful self for being who you are. And with that, when you're ready, come back to the room, open your eyes, and so it is. Thank you. Surrender.
I trust and I know that as I surrender, I fall into the arms of love. I surrender. I trust and I know that as I surrender, I fall into the arms of love. I surrender. I trust and I know that as I surrender, I fall into the arms of love. I fall into the arms of love. I fall into the arms of love. When I dip my toes in the waves of the ocean, something in me knows I am part of that ocean, and I can't deny I am one with all life. And this is my world. This is your world. And together we will choose our fate. When I tread in a forest that's been here for 1,000 years, something in me is silent, and I open beyond my fears, and a voice from inside tells me not to deny that this is my world. This is your world, and together we will choose our fate. We all come from one source, and we'll return to one source. So let us sing with one voice. Let us sing of our choice. Sing with me. I choose life. I choose love. I choose life. And I choose to love. I dip my toes in the waves of the ocean, I know I'm alive.
We were right there with you on your ocean adventure there. All right, well.
In Mexico.
In Mexico, yeah. And there are some cards with those four spiritual tools to design a life you love to live. Now, there are cat people and there are dog people. So at the welcome table, Tina has these for you to pick one up and take it home with you so you can have that handy. That imagination, visualization, absolute knowing, and future forecast. All right, well, thank you so much for your vulnerability and sharing such a deep, process. That's one heck of a journey through the valley of the shadow of fear. Thank you for the courage to share that. And giving us practical tools, because it's all about putting into practice so it can actually make a difference. So thank you so much for that. And thank you to the band. And of course, Anthony is totally tapped in, so he always picks the perfect songs that go really well with the speaker. You know, they're going, oh, the ocean. Oh, I just talked about the ocean. He didn't know you were going to talk about the ocean. All right. And so now is the time where we enter into conscious giving. And together we use our time, our talent, and our treasures to co-create this wonderful spiritual community that sustains and inspires us. Thank you for your love offering donation and for being part of this heartfelt work. For we know that it is a blessing and that financial abundance is flowing our way. You can place your donation in the heart bowls that are being passed. You can donate by sending an e-transfer to donate@unityofcalgary.org, going to our website, or sending in our check. And you'll notice some little green laminated cards. That means people are donating online, and that's what those green cards are for. So let's stand together and sing Give with an Open Heart.
This is so fun. Tammy and Jason didn't show up, so I got to do the daily word, and Chloe didn't show up, so I got to do the collection. Chloe didn't show up, so I get to do the blessing. Woohoo! So if you will join me and share. Claude has a plan. I was tempted to say, I'll do a unity moment. I don't know, make something up. Okay, all together now. Divine love as me blesses and multiplies all that I am, all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive. We thank you for your generous hearts. We are blessed.
All right, please do have a seat. Let's take a quiet moment to enter into the power of prayer, the power of remembering our true divine nature and source of being, and therefore our divine powers. And bring to our awareness anything that we are called to surrender into prayer, for we know that turning our concerns and celebrations over to Spirit opens the way for abundant blessings to unfold. Each month we hold other unity communities in the power of prayer, and this month we are holding Unity Center of Winnipeg and Silent Unity. And you can submit prayer requests that I pass on to our prayer team here at Unity of Calgary and Silent Unity for 30 days of prayer support. You can fill out the slips that are on the prayer table or submit by emailing prayer@unityofcalgary.org or on our website, unityofcalgary.org. And just wanted to mention with the centers, we see them receiving all of the support they need in all the ways that support is required, so they can continue bringing forth the unity message and bringing love into our world. All right, well, guess what? You get to stand up and sing again. Our community song is One Spirit.
Thing on? Yes? I don't hear it on. Did I do something? Okay, just imagine it's loud. As long as the river flows, as long as the grass is green, as long as the children grow, salmon are going to swim upstream, 'cause everybody wants to come home. We are all one spirit, we are all one spirit, we are all one spirit on our way home. We are all one spirit, we are all one spirit, we are all one spirit, we're not alone. 'Cause
right, please do have a seat. And before we announce what's coming up, we encourage you to take a look at this week's weekly email, if you have not already, and you will see a picture of Patty singing and Noah playing the guitar together for the first time, leading music. Thank you so much, Patty and Noah. And there's a picture of Katie and Doug's lovely outdoor wedding extravaganza. So to the newlyweds, congratulations. Woo! We love you.
And you were all there in spirit, so we got married at the base of a waterfall. And we brought this tapestry to donate. And when we're singing our last song, if everybody wants to focus their attention on that, it will reinforce the fact that you were all there. And in spite of flood warnings and thunderstorm warnings and all kinds of crazy things that took place, it went off without a hitch.
Including there was no power at the center that they were at, and the caterers managed to produce amazing dinner. They pulled up their cars to run the blenders and whatnot off of their car batteries, and it was quite the adventure. Congratulations, my dears, we love you.
Dinner on a barbecue, like a big roast on the barbecue, and carried everything up 3 flights of stairs, and they were fabulous. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, thank you.
Wonderful. And in follow-up to our community circle that we had last week, focused on benevolence, we have a new sign-up sheet for sacred service. Share your gifts, help our community thrive. There are all sorts of ways that people contribute their time and their talents to make this possible, big and small. So there's a wide variety of opportunities to be a part of this community in action. This is at the back table there for you to have a look at and see what might call for you to be involved in our community. Including bringing goodies for the hospitality table. We have a potluck coming up today, but we always have some goodies on the coffee table for coffee time. All right, so what is coming up? The potluck, right after our gathering. We'll be moving our tables and chairs over. If you didn't bring food, it seems to me that people are always taking leftovers home at the end of the day. And so please do stay and enjoy communion over food. What do we say? Having conversations that matter with people who care. And, oh yes, Willie. I didn't even notice his crate there until you let him out. He's Anthony's lovely dog, Willie. Do say hello to Willie. He's a lovely bundle of love. Next week we have Janice and Kara Butler. They spoke together some weeks ago and shared their experience around Janice's near-death experience of being very ill a year ago. So it'll be interesting to see what they have to share with us on the theme of the month. And after, we have a prayer circle on that day, June 14th, a prayer circle after Sunday experience from 12:30 to 1 p.m. for those who'd like to experience that. Now, Lou, are you leading that? Yeah, so if you'd like more information about it, speak to Lou. And June 21st, True Guy Starhorse is our guest presenter. Is he doing the music as well that day? Some music, so speaking and his music, and then there's a contemplation and conversation circle after that. So all sorts of wonderful things coming up. And remember, you can sign up to read the Daily Word at the welcome table. All right, well, thanks again, Reverend Lesley, for that beautiful presentation, for the beautiful sharing of experience and the wisdom, that wisdom that comes out of the dark night of the soul. Thank you to the band, as always. We so appreciate what you bring through the music, through the vibration of sound, and through the words. Deeply appreciate you. And we're going to create a circle and sing, "Let There Be Peace." So as you leave today and go out into the world, let's remind ourselves who we are and our purpose on earth to be love and emanate that love into the world around us. Let's send a ripple of peace out into the world as we sing, "Let There Be Peace."